comes the, y'all don't really want it like that. Here comes the.
Good evening, friends, and welcome back to another ORAS Pokemon Wi-Fi battle. My name's Squid, and I'm versing a good friend of mine today. His name is 5 Lugia, also known as Chris, so I'll put his link in the description below. Once again, music in the background is brought to you by Blunted Beats, so go check them out because I really do enjoy their instrumentals, and I think you will too. Now, getting into the team breakdown, 5 Lugia is bringing a Mega Metagross, which I've been seeing a lot of lately. There's a Go-Goat, which is going to be a little bit more of a pain than you'd think. There's Mew, which it's very versatile. You guys know Mew could do pretty much anything. There's going to be a Gliscor, so I really don't want to deal with anything being toxic stalled. He also has a defensive Zapdos and a Clawitzer. Now, he's definitely got a solid team. Getting into my team, I am bringing Venomoth once again because I really like using Venomoth. I'm trying out Mega Pidgeot again. I'm bringing the Grand Poobah, my Slowking. I really wanted to use Pangoro because Pangoro is finally relevant to the meta now for that he gets knockoff and he gets Drain Punch. Also, he gets Ice Punch and the other elemental punches with the Iron Fist ability. So it's going to be nice to see him actually be used. Not saying that he wasn't viable before, but he's going to have a little bit more use, I think, now with access to Drain Punch and Knockoff. I'm also running with Rhyperior for my Rock Setter and Earthquake and stuff like that. And finally, I have my little Volbeat. Drop the Volbeat. So I'm going to play around with him a little bit with my Iron Ball trick set. So I'm going to get right into the battle. Now, it was a good battle. It was a tough battle. I want to lead off with Gnarly once again because people are going to expect, because of the reputation that it has for the Sleep Powder, which is he doesn't want his Clawitzer to go to sleep. So he's going to withdraw right away. That means I get a free layer of Toxic Spikes up, which is good because it's going to stop anything that wants to be like Stally and stuff like that. And it would definitely want him to go into the Go-Goat because he does have Sap Sipper, so we could get a free +1, and then he could knock me out of the Rock Slide if he has that. So now he's going to switch back out, and that's going to allow me to get a Quiver Dance up. So now I'll be at +1 in Special Attack, Special Defense, and Speed against most of his team, and his Gliscor does not take kindly to Tinted Lens Buzzes. So we're going to see how much this does. He's going to get his Toxic Orb off, and he can't poison me, which is the great part, but his Earthquake is going to hit neutrally on us, so we are going to be able to go for a Bug Buzz, and that's going to do a very, very nice chunk of damage. Now, he's going to end up going for the Earthquake, and he's actually going to end up scoring a crit. Almost takes us out. We're down to 18 HP. Now, what I was thinking here was, alright, if Bug Buzz did that much, I bet you Giga Drain would do a whole bunch too, and I can get a good amount of health back. But I go for the Giga Drain, and he actually lives on like 1 HP, which is horrible because now I just lost a very important Pokemon because after it died, I realized how important it was, especially when you see the Go-Goat set. And I have a little bit more of a grass weakness than I thought, because my Rhyperior is 4 times weak to that, and my Grand Poobah, the Slowking, is weak to that as well. So I'm going to bring in Pidgeot after I die, and I'm going to go for a Hurricane. I just want to start shooting off Hurricanes, and the good news is Gliscor is going to go down very early, which is something that I didn't want to deal with because I really don't enjoy dealing with Gliscors and their Toxic Soul. So he's going to go down very early, and now he's going to end up bringing in his Zapdos. Zapdos is not a Pokemon that I want to mess around with either, but I have a plan. I do have a plan. Now I'm going to switch out here, and I'm going to go into my little cutie, Drop Me. Now, as soon as Drop Me comes in, my plan was, alright, I could take a Thunderbolt or whatever. Turns out he's going to go for HP Ice, and we're going to eat that up deliciously because we are especially defensive, and I was hoping that he wouldn't switch out for this. I'm going to go for the Trick. I am actually running Trick Iron Ball, so now Zapdos is no longer flying in a sense, so I can, now he just lost all his ground immunities, so I'll be able to fire off any kind of Earthquake or whatever I want to do with my Rhyperior. So now he is holding the Iron Ball, and that is going to slow down his speed, which is going to allow me to outspeed him the next turn, go for a U-turn, and go into my Rhyperior, predicting the Thunderbolt. Now, I did predict a Thunderbolt because, well, why wouldn't he go for it? It'd be a nice coverage move, and I didn't think he would want me to switch, or expect me to switch into Rhyperior, even though he had HP Ice. So he's going to go for the Thunderbolt. Now, fearing that I outspeed him, he's fearing the Earthquake now, because, well, why wouldn't he? So I'm actually going to sub on the switch, because I should, in retrospect, outspeed him now, but you'll see later that something happens. Now, I'm going to end up going for a sub on the switch as he brings the Mew in. Now, he's not going to be able to burn me in this situation because I'm sure the Mews probably carry a Will-O-Wisp or whatever. But luckily, he didn't bring the Go-Goat in because that would have just completely walled me. Now, he's going to end up going for the Defog, and that's bad because now the rest of his team is not going to be poisoned. But I am going to be able to go for an Earthquake, and the Mew is going to be poisoned as well. So this way, the Earthquake is going to do a decent chunk of damage. I really don't have any attack investment in this Rhyperior. I think I have like 4. But this is a dedicated defensive wall. You've seen him many times before because I absolutely love using this set. So now he will defog the toxic spikes away, and then he's going to be able to set up his own Stealth Rocks. And I'm going to end up going for an Earthquake, which is going to end up taking out the Mew. So we're in pretty good position. Game is going pretty even right now. And I just want to get this Mew out of here because I don't want him to go around with like soft boiled and try and like wear me down. But the fact that he didn't attack, well, necessarily he doesn't have to because he has the Go-Go, which pretty much stops me in my tracks. So now, speaking of the devil, Go-Goat is going to come in. Nice shiny Go-Goat, let me add. That's going to come in. And I figure, alright, he's probably just going to attack, break my sub. He actually subs. He's using me as setup fodder, and I need to get out of here now. Because I figured I'll get my sub broken. He'll probably go for like a Horn Leech, take me out. I can get my rocks up and then switch out. That's not the case. Because he is a leftovers sub bulk up set. Now, I figure, alright, he's probably just going to Horn Leech now and take me out. No, he's going to end up going for the bulk up, setting up in my face, and now I can't stay in because I don't want to be setup fodder because I'll have nothing to break the sub and then attack it on the following turn. So I'm going to go for a Rock Blast. I want to see how much it did because I know it's neutral, and I know Go-Goat doesn't have the best defenses in the world. So I actually end up missing, which is huge because if I would have gotten at least maybe, if he's at +1, if I would have got like maybe 3 or 4 hits, then I possibly could have broke the sub. But that just didn't happen. So I'm actually going to switch out. And I'm going to go into Ollie my Pangoro, predicting him to go for another bulk up. Now, I would go into Drop Me. But unfortunately, I'm going to die to Stealth Rocks the next time I return. Because I don't have over 25% of my health. So he's actually going to go for another bulk up. And I need to get out of this situation. Hopefully I can outspeed and go for an Ice Punch. And hopefully break the sub. Which is what I'm planning on. That's the big plan right here. I don't outspeed, which is the horrible part. He's going to go for the Horn Leech. I'm going to live that because I am actually running max HP, max attack adamant. So I will be able to go for an Ice Punch. And even at +2, I will be able to break the sub. Because Pangoro has great attack stat. And plus he has the Iron Fist boost on top of that. Now he's going to go for the Rock Slide, predicting me to switch out. Possibly into my Pidgeot. And we are actually going to live that, take that real nice. But we get the flinch. We get flinch, which is actually really big. Because I did go for Ice Punch there. And that would have done a nice chunk, and then I probably would have died the following turn to a Horn Leech, because I don't think he'd go for a sub knowing I could break it. And then I could have gone into my Pidgeot and gone for Hurricanes and or Heat Waves. So I end up going into my Volbeat here, and at this point I didn't realize that I was going to die to Stealth Rocks. So now I get a free switch into my Pidgeot after foddering off my fodder, which I could have saved for later. I end up just going for a Hurricane. And it does a nice chunk to the Metagross, not gonna lie, it is a nice chunk to the Metagross. I could have gone for Heat Wave, but I figured at the amount of health that the Go-Goat was at, I couldn't have gone for the Heat Wave and actually killed it, because I know it has a tremendous special bulk. So I figured Hurricane was my best bet. I thought maybe he might want to fodder it off. I was hoping he might have, but it was not the case. Now, I'm going to go into the Grand Poobah here, and while he Mega Evolves, I figured I could definitely take a Meteor Mash, or at least one, and then set up a Trick Room and start firing off some kind of Scald, or maybe some Psyshocks, because a Psyshock on the Go-Go would actually work really well, and but I still have to be careful because he could still knock me out with Horn Leeches, so that's the only bad part about this. So he's going to go for the Meteor Mash. It is going to do a little bit over 50%, but the fact that I have leftovers definitely helps me out here. He's going to go for a second Meteor Mash. We are going to take that relatively well. We will be able to get a Trick Room off. And now I do want to switch out because I will get the regen boost, get a little bit of health back, and I am expecting the Bullet Punch here because Bullet Punch should take me out from this range of health, and that's not something I really want. So I'm going to switch out into the Rhyperior. And I will end up eating up this Bullet Punch deliciously, and I will be able to either A, go for Substitute, or go for an Earthquake and just start firing off hits. So he is going to go for the Bullet Punch. Like I said, we are going to eat this hit up deliciously. Get a little leftovers recovery, and we will be able to set off a substitute. Because he doesn't want to stay, because he doesn't want to eat an earthquake. Now he is going to, oh wait, we're not setting up a substitute, we're going to go straight for the earthquake. Because he's just going to go into Zapdos. It's pretty much fodder for him anyway, because we will be able to go for an earthquake and just take him out. And the beautiful thing is that we are on Trick Room, so we should outspeed, even though he's holding an Iron Ball, which does half his speed. And we are slow enough to where we still outspeed him in Trick Room. So I thought that was pretty silly, because he should be slow as hell. And the fact that he still lived the earthquake, we don't have any attack investment like I said before, but defensive, we have no attack investment, it is super effective. But we earthquaked a Zapdos. I think that's quite an accomplishment. Now he's going to be able to bring his Go-Goat in, and now I don't want Trick Room to be up anymore. So I'm actually going to go for a sub, trying to stall out the Trick Room here. As unfortunately he's going to go for substitute as well. I figured he might just want to go straight for the Horn Leech. I was hoping he would, but that's not the case. And he's just going to continue to shit on me with this Go-Goat. Now, I'm just going to go for another Rock Blast, because I feel like it's neutrally, I feel like it should do well. So he's going to go for a bulk up in my face, get the +1 in attack and defense. And Go-Goat doesn't have a bad attack stat either. I believe it's like base 100 if I'm not mistaken. So now I'm going to end up going for Rock Blast. This time I hit. So we're going to see how many hits if I can break the sub. So there's one. Hopefully we don't get two, because then if we get stuck with two, then we're in even worse position than we would have been. So after 3 hits, it does fade even after +1. And it doesn't, oh no, it's pretty sad damage. But we actually end up hitting 5 times, which is actually really nice. So the sub has been broken. I don't know if he's going to want to sub it again. I don't know if he wants to go for a Horn Leech. So we're going to end up seeing what he wants to go for here. But the fact is that I'm sitting here as setup fodder is a no-go. So he's actually going to go for the Horn Leech, get a little bit of health back. And I believe I go for another Rock Blast, just to see how much it does. If I can get another 5 hits, that'd be nice. So I end up going for Rock Blast, and I actually end up missing again. So I've missed 2 Rock Blasts. I need to get little glasses for my Rhyperior, because my man is struggling out here. And he's faced against an opponent that has 4 times super effective against him. So there's no way I'm staying in for this. So I'm switching out. I'm going to go into the Grand Poobah here and pretty much kind of fodder it off, because I think I should have probably kept him. I could have kept switching and get myself up to a good amount of health, where I could have set up another Trick Room. But this Go-Goat is really a struggle for me right now, and I really wish that I had my Venomoth so I could Bug Buzz it, especially through the substitute with that, and then take it out. So even though he did have the Rock Slide, it definitely would have helped me bring him down to a point of where he couldn't do too much. So at this point, I'm going to bring Pudge back in, and I do actually carry Roost on Pudge, so I am going to predict the switch out, and I am going to end up going for the Roost here. Even though the Mega Metagross is coming in, I want to be at a good amount of health to help me later on in the battle. So what's going to happen is I'm going to go for the Roost, and on the following turn, I will definitely go for a Heat Wave. And I figured at this amount of health, hopefully a Heat Wave would be able to take the Metagross out. So that's what I was banking on. And unfortunately, it's not going to be enough. He's going to live on just a little bit, but I'm going to get extremely lucky here and end up pulling a Burnout. I didn't even know Heat Wave had a chance to burn. So he's going to go for the Meteor Mash. So he's going to do a little bit under 50%, and then he will go down to the burn on the following turn. And now I need to figure out how I'm going to deal with this guy, because Kloitzer is a monster, and I'm stuck in a position where that Go-Goat, it's only my Pidgeot and my Rhyperior left. So I'm going to go for Roost. I want to see or gauge how much he was going to do with a Water Pulse. Like if he would have predicted me to Roost and went for a Roar Sphere, then I would have been astounded and just called him pro right there. But we actually end up taking that and living on a little bit. I could have went for Hyper Beam, but it would have put me in really bad position against the Go-Goat, and I wouldn't have lived the next hit, and then he could have just Horn Leashed me. So I figured my best bet was to go for Hurricane, either try and take him out in one hit, which I didn't think would happen because he is pretty bulky, and that just wasn't going to happen. Or I could have banked on Confusion Hacks, but that didn't happen either. So he was able to take me out with a second Water Pulse, and then Rhyperior will come in, and he is going to be able to knock me out with another Water Pulse, and that's going to end up being in the game. So Chris got me this time, but I am preparing myself for another one of our battles, and definitely a good one. Other than that, let's see. Comment question of the day. I'm actually getting ready to leave for school in about maybe a half hour. and I'm about to go eat breakfast. So comment question of the day: what is your favorite thing to eat for breakfast? I'm about to eat an egg sandwich with bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup. Also a fan of cereal, Count Chocula. What is your favorite breakfast item? Before I keep tripping over all my words. But that's a common question of the day. I hope you guys enjoy this. Definitely go check out Fi Dark Lugia. I will leave the link to his channel in the description below. Stay tuned for more ORAS Wi-Fi battles, and I'll catch you guys later. Bye.